Well, hello Rabbitohs members and supporters. Welcome to the latest episode of the Rabbitohs Insider as we lead up to our round 5 clash against the Brisbane Broncos on Thursday night at Stadium Australia. As we do every week, we head over to Redfern Oval and we catch up with John Sutton and Mark Ellison for our Playmakers segment, proudly brought to you by Zoom Video Communications. Then we take a look at what you need to know ahead of this clash with the Broncos, proudly brought to you by wotif.com. Then we head back to Redfern and we speak to Joe O'Callaghan, our head of Pathways, who takes us through our Pathways wrap-up, brought to you by What If. And finally, it's the latest episode of our documentary series, Glory Bound. Let's get into it. As we prepare for the big game against the Brisbane Broncos this Thursday night, we headed over to Redfern Oval and caught up with our head of football, Mark Ellison, and Rabbitohs legend, John Sutton, who took part in our Playmakers segment brought to you by Zoom Video Communications. And they took a look at some key plays from Damien Cook and Benji Marshall.
Hello and welcome to another segment of the Playmakers brought to you by Zoom Video Communications. Once again, like every week, we have one of our former greats, John Sutton, to join us. How are you, John?
I'm good, Marcus, especially after a great win like that.
Yeah, what paved the way? I mean, 38-0, that's a great score, but obviously the defence was outstanding.
Yeah, definitely. Our defence was outstanding all day. When the boys defend like that and give our spine some room to move, we're very hard to stop.
Yeah, and we just, defending so well just puts pressure on the opposition. Our field position was good for a lot of the time, but there was an arm wrestle as well during the game for most parts of it.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs came out pretty strong. They were playing into the game and we went with them. And just like most teams, and we put the pressure on, most teams fold. So it was great to see the boys defend like that and score a lot of points.
Yeah, we had the nil score line due to the defence, but some of our combinations on the day in attack, the old firm of Cook and Walker, and then the new firm of Marshall and Mitchell got together, and there's some really great moments. Particularly, take us through that first try for Cody after the Cookie break.
Yeah, as you can see, you see Cookie jump down the short side because Latrell and Cody were there, and the team were trying to worry about them, but he bounces back through the middle and they give him just the slightest gap, and any sort of gap, Cookie's going to take it. And when you see him go through the line, Benji was there, Cody and Latrell were all there to support, and that's when a team's going well, you get that support from all the players around you.
There's always a call, we say, the numbers in the picture when you look at the video on it, and you see when Cody's putting the ball down, there's three of the Rabbitohs supporting.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know your team's on when you have more numbers in the picture, definitely.
And then the second try, Cookie's break, or Cody's second try, led from Cookie's break. Cody pushes up with Cookie that helps him keeping the defenders off him. And you take it from there, mate. Yeah,
so I think with that, Thomas Burgess lays the platform, has a great run, steams over a few defenders. And when the markers ain't set, Cookie's going to jump out there and take them on. And he took 2 players out with a little fend. And like all times, Cody's up there pushing in support. And he had to do a little bit when he got the ball, but he's just too smart, this bloke, and he's playing some really good football.
He is, mate. If you look closely at the end on, you don't even see Cody actually calling for the ball. I think they just realise it. Cookie realised he's just going to beat it, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Cody's always sniffing around looking for the ball, and just his instincts to read the play is second to none.
Yeah. And then, obviously going later into the second half, the try from Latrell started with a great foot pass from Keon, but then the Marshall-Mitchell combination.
Yeah, just to have Benji come on, and he's one of the greatest footballers to play this game, and for him just to come on as a reserve for us is awesome. And Keon done really well with a flick pass. Benji doing his best jumping across the field, and just for Latrell to read the play from, I think he was 25 metres back, and be steaming onto the ball, and it just sat up for him, and it's just all around good football.
And the fact that Latrell was pushing so hard with him made the defensive line stay there. And then I think Benji read that and thought, I'll put one in behind.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they're in some good form, and it's scary where we can end up this year. With Latrell, he's fit, firing, and yeah, just looking forward to I just love the way we play and looking forward to this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Thursday night. We're back at home against the Broncos. Well, it'll be a tough one, we know that, but I think we've got their measure if we keep playing the sort of football we are.
Yeah, definitely. If we just pick up from the Doggies game with our D, I think we're going to score some points this weekend.
Hope to see you all out there, and we'll talk again next week with the Playmakers.
Some great play there from two of the experienced players in our spine. We're going to need them to do that again this week against the Broncos on Thursday night. Now, what you need to know ahead of this big game against the Broncos on Thursday at Stadium Australia, it's brought to you by whatif.com, and let's take a look at what you need to know for this game. Here's what you need to know about our Round 5 clash with the Brisbane Broncos, brought to you by whatif.com. Proud travel partner of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Did you know since 2019, Rabbitohs members and fans have saved over $10,000 using whatif.com/Rabbitohs? Here are 5 quick facts to watch out for as we return to Stadium Australia this week. Wayne versus Walters. Kevin Walters is preparing to face his longtime mentor Wayne Bennett for the first time in his career as an NRL coach. Walters and Bennett first crossed paths nearly 40 years ago, with Walters playing under Bennett at Canberra and Brisbane, and also joining forces several times with Queensland.
We're great friends and have been since he was 18 when he came to Canberra with me as a young coach, and you know, so yeah, no, I'm not getting up with Kevin's in the other coaching box. It's business, as you know, we've both got to do our jobs. We'll do that, but nothing will change between me and him.
Beating the stats. South Sydney has its second worst winning record against Brisbane, winning only 29% of the games played since 1998. However, the performances in recent seasons has seen the tables turn. Cook versus Turpin. Both hookers are integral to their team's success on the field. Both Cook and Turpin are their team's top tackler, with Cook on 184 and Turpin just behind on 182, with their tackle efficiency sitting in the 90th percentile. Missing playmakers. South Sydney will be without Cody Walker and Keon Koloamatangi when they take the field on Thursday, with Benji Marshall and Jacob Host coming into the starting 13. The Broncos will also be without Patrick Carrigan, with Tavita Pangai Jr. in line to start. Firing on home turf. South Sydney has won 6 of the past 9 matches played at Stadium Australia, with 5 of these decided by 10 points or more, including 2 by 40 points or larger. Travelling to the game this week, remember members get 15% off select hotels through whatif.com/Rabbitohs. Use promo code Rabbitohs15 to enjoy these exclusive benefits. Hopefully that gets you fired up for a big game this Thursday night, and if you can get to Stadium Australia, we encourage you to get out there and support the boys this Thursday night. Now, we caught up with Joe O'Callaghan, the head of our Pathways, and he gave us this update in our Pathways wrap-up, brought to you by What If.
Hi guys, welcome to another Pathways wrap brought to you by What If. Another massive weekend in footy just gone. On Good Friday we had our Harold Matthews go down in a really tight game to Balmain out at Leichhardt, and our SG Ball unfortunately had their first loss of the season as well, up against a really aggressive and hungry Balmain Tigers team. We move on to also some other games on Good Friday. We had our Jersey Flag come back from 24-0 down at half time to get up 25-24 on a thriller against the Dogs out at Stadium Australia. And then that was wrapped up on Saturday with our women's team up against Mounties out at Corbury Cooch Reserve. Unfortunately not being able to record their first win of the year, but putting up a really great fight. And our New South Wales Cup ended our Pathways games for the weekend with a great win against Mounties to kick their year off 24-22. Our Harold Matthews Cup team is wrapping up their season with their game against the Dogs this weekend. We caught up recently with one of their stars of the season, Tyrone Monroe. Let's see what he had to say.
How you going? I'm Tyrone Monroe. I'm originally from Moree, New South Wales, from Gamilaroi tribe. I've moved down here ever since I was like 3 or 4. I played for Botany, Rams. I didn't get picked and I just, that's why I said I went to myself, I want to train, earn it. So I just kept training. That's when the open trials come across. I seen an open trial on the website and I just filled out for it. This is my first year of reps, first ever trial my whole life. I stand out, like looking to be picked or something. My goal is to win every game, with the team. Yeah, I want to play first grade, that's it, I want to make it, go to the top. You got to train with South and prove them in any fitness, you need to lead it if you really want to make it, be to the top, just get to the top, be the best of everything. Strong, aggressive, fast, that's me.
That was great to hear from Tyrone there, and we're really excited to see where his journey takes him over the next couple of years at the club. Looking ahead to games this weekend, we've got buys in the New South Wales Cup and the Jersey Flag. We have Harold Matthews will be finishing up their season up against the Canterbury Bulldogs on Saturday out at Terry Hill Reserve at Chester Hill. We also are very excited to see our SG Ball playing a curtain raiser out at Stadium Australia this Saturday at 3:15 as they go up against a top 4 team in the Dogs, trying to finish as high as they can on the ladder going into their final series. And it gets wrapped up on Saturday with our women's playing the Tigers down at Wollongong, hopefully trying to get their first win of the season and get their season rolling. As always, please check our website for more details about the games.
Well, thank you for that wrap-up, Joe. Great to see some of our Pathways teams getting wins on the board over the weekend. Now it's time for our final episode of our documentary series, Glory Bound. What a fantastic series it has been so far. We take a look back at last week's belting of the Bulldogs and we look forward to this week's clash with the Broncos.
12 months ago, South Sydney's annual Good Friday match was put on the back burner as the game came to a standstill due to the COVID pandemic. This time around, the show is back on. Another big match against the Berries.
But one thing about Canterbury, and they play against South, they always lift. It's like when me and Michael played for South against Norths. Norths are the worst side in the comp. They used to get beat by 30 or 40 every week. And we'd play them. If we didn't just beat them, they'd knock us over. And I think Canterbury's the same as that with us. They're like a bogey side, and they'll come out all fired up and all that. And they haven't scored a point for the last 2 weeks to do it, so they'll lift against the Rabbits. So, naturally, I think once our backline gets into play, we'll thrash them. It'll be a hard game sort of thing for us. When them players come off, they'll have their hair marked up.
Hang on. We've got a problem, Houston.
Yeah, thanks very much. I appreciate that.
And if you're trying to see, you don't move unless you win.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. I don't think it's going to be as, it's not going to blow out as much as most people think, but we'll see how it goes.
It's a good day to go to the Easter show and kind of do the double. I wish we were smart enough to think of that.
Hello everyone, a beautiful day in the harbour city for this traditional Good Friday clash. The Rabbitohs on their way out. The men of league people are getting together to launch a major fundraiser for the former NRL player Mossy Masoi. And if you'd like to donate to the fundraiser, please head to menofleague.com. Got the ball away and Mansour goes over to score after a brilliant effort from him in the plays leading up.
Yeah, they kicked them clean, didn't they, South Sydney?
Yeah. The blindside, Surakat in behind the ruck, takes off, Wonderby gives the ball, Walker's there, and he keeps up his averages of 1 try per game. This year, Cook saw the gap, and that should do us. The first half, and 14-0 the score on this Good Friday. And here's a bus made by Cook, the speed of the man, and here's this support player, Walker. He's brilliant. 2 today, 1 in each of the earlier 3 matches this year.
Well, that's how you break the spirit of your opponent.
Great kick. Here's a kick that's going to land in the arms of Johnston. Puts a kick in, looking for Mitchell. Mitchell comes from nowhere to score off a magic kick from you-know-who.
Great vision and execution.
Knocked down. Did it come off the stomach, though? Were there hands involved here?
I don't think so.
It's Adam Reynolds streaking away for what might well be the last try of the game, but let's go back and see whether in fact it came off any hands. He's pointed to the spot.
Kyle Flanagan kicks it straight into him, Gus.
Little legs are pumping, bro. Wait, what beats sprinter? Wow, little legs. It's been so great with all their support, all the messages I've received over the last couple of weeks. We've got a fantastic support base here, mate, at South, and that was just for them, mate. It's a little thank you for the messages and support they've been giving me over the last couple of weeks. You've been a bit overwhelmed by all of them, the amount of the support you've got from them. Yeah, I have. To be honest, gets me a bit emotional just thinking about it. Like, I've been at the club now for 10 years, playing first grade, and they've been there every step of the way. And look, through the good times and the bad times, they stick solid, and that's what it's all about. They're a loyal bunch of supporters, and yeah, certainly notice all their support.
They're an ornament to the game at the moment. They super side, whether they can do it for the next 26 weeks, plus the semis will be, well, that's just in his hands upstairs there, but I like watching them.
After 3 wins on the trot, South Sydney's focus now turns towards the Brisbane Broncos, but they'll have to get the job done without a couple of familiar faces.
Lee Cody's a key part for our attacking, and Keon's a big loss for us as well. So yeah, they are big losses, but you got a pretty handy replacement in Benji Marshall coming in, and he's been training really well, and we all know what he's capable of, and he's shown it coming off the bench for us in the early rounds. And Jacob Ho slots in nicely as well. He's did most of the pre-season on that left edge. So yeah.
We're not a one-man team, I don't think. We'll work with it, and I'm sure we'll just go out there and everyone will just do their jobs.
And you're handing another debut to a new Rabbitoh this week.
Yeah, that's an enjoyment part. I came here as a kid, and he's spent 2 years here with us, and all of a sudden he gets an opportunity. You see his excitement, and he told the players he'd been wanting to play first grade for South Sydney since he was 13. He's been through a lot, had his injuries and had his moments, and all of a sudden he's going to get that chance, and that gives you a thrill to see that happen.
Dano's one of my closest mates, and we grew up playing footy together, and I've seen him really develop and grow his game, and he's always been a very composed kid, and yeah, he's doing really well.